This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And everybody's still talking about the drones. What are they and how concerned should we be? Well, joining us is retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Blaine Holt. He's a former C-17 combat commander, former U.S. Deputy Military Representative to NATO. General Holt, who do you think is behind this and what?
Merry Christmas. It's great to be with you both. I will tell you that it's looking more and more from the people that I'm talking to that there is heavy China involvement. Could be others, could be Iran. Certainly, this administration is complicit because they lie to us all the time about what this is. But what they need to do now is exactly what President Trump told them to do, and that's play it straight with the American people. Let us know what this threat is, and let us know what we're doing about it.
Now, why do you think it's China? What draws you to that, and how concerned should we be?
So I have some sources that I've been talking to about this inside the government that bring me down this path. And then the other part of this is a lot of really great citizens have been doing some very good photography that's been going up on social media everywhere. And two of the platforms, the larger ones, the car-shaped ones, the RV-shaped or sized ones, they are a very close approximation in China's inventory of what they call their CH-7, a triangular-looking drone, and then their CH-10, which is more of a rectangular but big payload type drone. So 3 to 6 meters across on each for their wingspan. They're very large. And these are the ones that people had been concerned about. Now, things that look like orbs and other stuff, I can't speak to that. But what I can say is there's a lot of technology flying above U.S. military installations. And now our installations overseas. It was reported this morning that our bases in the U.K. are also reporting drone harassment. And again, I think there's a great concern here because our government's not shooting straight with us at all.
Well, General Rudy Washington, my only problem with this is that why haven't we shut them down? I mean, we can't fly over China and just fly over the country or Russia. We'll be shot down instantly. I mean, if in fact this is Chinese, why are we allowing it?
Well, I could back you up and take you back to a time when there was this massive balloon flying over
right.
our country, and you would ask me, why aren't we shooting it down? And I think in both cases, what we've got to do is we've got to now start asking some serious questions about what the relationships are between this administration and the People's Republic of China. And those things need to be investigated out. Anytime government leaders, elected officials, don't take actions that are constitutionally mandated that they take, meaning Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution directs that they protect the United States on a national security level. If they don't take those decisions, then what we have to do is investigate why they're not doing that.
And why can't...
I mean, the same reason, Rudy, that they didn't shoot down the balloons until, they were fully embarrassed.
Yeah, but why can't we follow it back to wherever it came from? I mean,
maybe they know it. Maybe they know and they don't want to. Right.
Well, that's even worse.
It is.
I mean, I hear governors say, "Oh, there's no threat." Well, look, there's something called anthrax and other kind of nasty stuff that could be sprayed from these things that you don't see. And
Exactly
Americans could start dropping dead 6 months from now. I mean, this is crazy.
Yes. So an irresponsible statement that Sabrina Singh, the deputy spokesman for the Pentagon, made last week was, well, at least we know these pose no threat to the public. How do you know that? Because when you have something with a payload, like some of the stuff that has been witnessed in the sky, how would you know that all they're there to do is conduct espionage operations, as if that wasn't bad enough? You could disperse an EMP, you could disperse a bioweapon, you could drop a bomb. There's tons of things you could do. And the fact is, I also don't like that Americans are uneasy thinking that the Defense Department doesn't have the ability to eliminate this problem. If given the proper orders and the mission, I can assure you that since we pay over $1 trillion a year for our security, the DoD can handle that mission and can handle the mission wherever it exists, and at very little danger to the public.
And Blaine, you just hit the point, General, that it has to come from the top down, and they don't seem to want to know what it is. I mean, they even self by their own admission, don't worry about it, but we don't know about 100 or more what they are. I mean, if the U.S. doesn't know what the 100 or more are, that's a concern. And it makes you wonder, I hate to go back to the whole Biden family, the Hunter Biden stuff. Remember, they were hanging out with, there were a lot of Chinese interesting characters there. You have to wonder, is this part of sort of their appeasement policy, or is there something worse that they're covering up for, and they don't want to engage China for some reason?
In general, there was a one-day story basically last year in 23 with a lab that accidentally a building inspector stumbled upon it out on the West Coast. And it was all Chinese, not licensed, not registered. And when they got the SWAT team together and went into the lab,
California, right?
In California,
I remember that.
They found all kind of nasty stuff, smallpox.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So let's expand that aperture. We don't talk in the mainstream press about all of the Chinese police stations, all of the Chinese land near our military bases where some of these drones, I believe, have been launched from. We don't talk about Chinese registrations of yachts that they have purchased that they could be driving up and down the seaboard and launching drones from. They don't talk about the millions of fighting age men, 350,000 of which, this is Michael Yon's reporting from the Darien Gap, that could be walking amongst us in our nation right now. In other words, the administration has a lot to answer for in their relationship to China. And it's not just this drone thing, but what Americans should do is take this very, very seriously. And we need to be very open and vocal that this cognitive dissonance that they've engaged in with the American people is not going to get it. John Kirby saying that people from New Jersey don't understand what an airliner looks like anymore. That's not scratching the itch, John. And we deserve a lot more. What I'm worried about is there's another shoe to drop here, that this is just a pregame.
There's something going on that we don't know yet.
General, right. I'm a 9/11 survivor, so I take these things very, very seriously, and it really bothers me that, this laissez-faire attitude coming out of Washington towards this. It really bothers me.
Yeah, and at a time where there's an open border, and I hate to scare people, but it's a transition period, and you got a president who's MIA right now.
That's exactly right. He's nowhere to be found, and again, the Defense Department does not have this mission. That's my understanding from people I am talking to. Well, Pete Buttigieg and his FAA and the Department of Transportation are not suited for this. And the Department of Homeland Security has proven that they absolutely could care less about Article 4, Section 4. They've left the door to the United States open.
That secretary should be locked up. As far as I'm concerned, General, that secretary should be locked up.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think we're in danger here. And, I said it before, this situation represents a clear and present danger, and that they are in our country, air, land, and sea, represents the sum of all fears. We need to be very, very concerned. And we're doing a transition of power right now. I am watching very carefully the threats that surround that inauguration as we get closer and closer to that day.
Yeah, very important. I mean, we all have to be alert, especially given all the threats all over the place. Well, General, thank you so much. We really love having you here. It's such an important topic. And please keep us posted as you hear things, because they're flying all over the place, especially New York, New Jersey. So many of our listeners are really, really curious and concerned, rightfully so.
Yes. General, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. By the way, I got your message. You had, with all your cute little dogs, you have the cutest little card. So thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. While we celebrate Trump's historic win, inflation continues to drain your IRA and 401k, and China is now targeting your money with a kill shot on the dollar. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold and contacting the experts at Colonial Metals Group. Gold has protected American wealth through every financial war. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything, please go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. The experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks I trust to help you bulletproof your wealth with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for a free 2024 gold guide to learn how you can protect your life's work and if you qualify for a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver right now. freegoldguide.com/Kudlow.